Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Adam. You're watching Unlimited Options Investing. In this video, we're going to go through the technical analysis of big names: Apple, Microsoft, NVDA, Google, Tesla, Amazon. Ooh, Amazon this week was rough. It was a big earnings week. You had the big names reporting. And Friday was an ugly day all around. There was nowhere to hide. There's really nowhere to hide in this market right now. So let's get right into it. And this week, again, full of earnings. Last week was the huge week when you had big names like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. But this week, still some pretty good names: AMD, Airbnb, Starbucks, Skyworks Solutions, Moderna, Shopify, which fell off a cliff, Block, Lucid, Mercado Libre, and DraftKings. Before I do, if this is your first time on the channel, welcome aboard and hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and check out my description below for links to my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok. Check it out. So the first name on the list, we're going to have Apple. This one reported actually pretty good earnings, authorizing a $90 billion in share buybacks, as well as beating on their top and bottom lines very handsomely all across the board. Revenue up 9% over a year, gross margins up at 43.7%. Yet the stock hit the moving averages, hit resistance, and got sold off with the rest of the market. We are approaching this blue trend line that we've hit a couple of times back in March of this year when we hit those lows, as well as back in October when we had pulled back from those September highs. So Apple hitting an all-time high back in January above $180, now at $157. And this one, considering all the damage across the NASDAQ, has been holding up pretty steady. It has been holding up the market. Very similar to Microsoft, which also reported great earnings this past Tuesday, beating on both the top and the bottom lines. And we were right on that support at 270 when they were reporting. And if the earnings came in negative, this one could have fallen much below, just like Amazon, which we'll get to momentarily. Microsoft having the best week of any of the big tech names, but again getting sold off on Friday, hitting that resistance at the 20 exponential on the daily. This one hitting an all-time high back in November at 350. Pretty well off its all-time high, but considering all the other names that have fallen so much more, this one's still holding up the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, similar to Apple. And when you take a look at both Microsoft and Apple on the weekly, Microsoft below the 50, you go back week after week, whenever it had fallen below that 50, it was just a great buying opportunity going back to 2015, 2013. Microsoft over the past decade, whenever it was below that 50, ended up being a great buying opportunity. Apple in between its 20 and its 50, again, similar idea, week after week, below that 50, below the 50, below the 50, going back to 2016, 2015. Even with all this volatility, I don't even know what had happened back then. I wasn't in the market. Lots of volatility, similar to what we're seeing right now. Imagine buying and holding, accumulating at these lows at $23. You'd be very, very happy 6 years later. Heading on over to the worst performer of the week, easily Amazon. Its earnings not the greatest, probably the worst of all the big tech that came out this week. We had our last line of support around 2,700 and we broke right through it, opening up on Friday below 2,600. We had a little bit of a rally and then selling right off as low as 2,450. When we take a look at the weekly and we zoom out, the next level of resistance probably around here, 2,200, maybe 2,000, anywhere in this area would be an absolute gift for the long term. Short term, we have a lot of headwinds coming up this upcoming year, maybe even to next year. The macroeconomics are challenging, but Amazon is a company that's reinvesting in itself and should continue growing into a mammoth of a company. Whenever this one was below its 50 EMA, again, a great buying opportunity, but right now, a really ugly candle, something we haven't seen in a long time with Amazon stock. Taking a look at Google, really ugly. 1, 2, 3, 4 ugly red candles in a row. Similar to a lot of other weakness we've seen in the past below that 50 EMA. So is this a good buying opportunity, or is this the beginning of something much worse? Where is the bottom? NVIDIA, similar story. So we hit that resistance back at 290 a few weeks ago. Since then, red candle after red candle after red candle after red candle. Finding resistance each step of the way, currently at 185 after reaching a 52-week high and all-time high just around $350. The next area of consolidation being around 130. Do we get there? Do we not? It's anybody's guess. And the last name we have is Tesla stock. This one sitting right on the 50 EMA on the weekly. This one being the most volatile, probably followed by NVIDIA. So we're still maybe above where we were that month and a half ago, but really a big sell-off as the rest of the market, hitting those highs of 1150, now at 870. A lot of volatility. This blue line, this uptrend we've had intact ever since March of 2021, and this downtrend ever since November of 2021. Currently in a lower range, it's going to continue compressing until it chooses either up or down, or similar to how Bitcoin has been looking over the past couple of weeks, we have that uptrend, we have that resistance, and we've broken that uptrend. So is the same thing going to happen to Tesla? We have the FOMC meeting this week. The Fed is going to be raising rates most likely by 0.5%. What's that going to do to the stock market? What's it going to do to the crypto market? It's anyone's guess. Let me know in the comments below what do you think is going to happen. Otherwise, that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and check out my links below for my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok. I will see you guys in the next video.